Welcome to the Continue Creating Show, the #1 show to inspire you to continue to be creative and follow your passion. My name is Matthew, and if you're new here, welcome. Today we have special guest, YouTube content creator and music producer, Marlow Digs. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show today. Today I have a special guest, music producer, Marlow Digs. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm glad to have you on here. I've been watching your videos for a while. And for those listening, if you don't know, Marlow Digs has a YouTube channel, and he also features his music on his YouTube channel. And he recently has just come out with a new beat tape. All right. I think there's about 10 songs, at least on the beat tape. And before we jump into this too much, I just want to talk about how you came up with your name. How did your name come about?
Marlow Digs. It's just, so first of all, my name is Marco, so that's where Mar comes from. So low recordings, lo-fi, Marlow, and then Digs from digging in the crates from, that's it. So it's a very simple name. That's it. I'm actually very bad with names. I spend quite a lot of time trying to come up with a name, and I just hate it. I hate the process of trying to find names for songs, for records, for whatever. But yeah, I came up with that one, and that's the origins of it.
It sounds like a very lo-fi name.
It works, so it's fine. It's fine.
That's cool, and I always thought like the artist really makes a name anyway. So
it's true. I think that's true. Yeah, I think that as well. It's the music, isn't it?
Exactly, man. 100%. So now, I do want to talk about this for a second, because when I do go to your YouTube channel, I think it does say Marlow Digs -MPC Head.
Yes.
So it sounds like there's a couple things going on there. Can you explain a little bit about MPC Head?
Right, the MPC Head. That's the name that was prior to Marlow Digs on the channel. So that's the name that most of you know me for. I changed the name recently, and before it was MPC Head, because it was dedicated so the channel was dedicated just for the MPC tutorials and all that. But so that's the MPC Head. That's where it started. It started because I wanted to make videos just about the MPC tutorials. But I knew that at some point I wanted to do something different, and I always kind of knew that. Not in the beginning, because I didn't know that the channel was going to grow. But I knew that after a while, when I started getting some subscribers, that in the future I might change the name, and that's what really happened. So I went from making tutorials and now just putting out more of my artist side into the channel, making beats for the people that watch the channel.
All right.
Does that answer the question? I don't know.
No, yeah, for sure. And I was just kind of thinking in the back of my head, because I know you do have a second YouTube channel, as far as I'm aware, where it seems like you kind of put some of that other stuff that wasn't MPC on that channel, but it seems like you're kind of combining the two right now. Is that kind of?
Yeah, so that's exactly it. So I came to a point where I wanted to, just keep the MPC Head on one side for tutorials, and have my other channel, the second channel, which is named Quantum Low now. And I was going to leave that for my artist side, but I actually just came to a point where I just wanted to change the channel altogether, and I wanted to put just my artist side on the MPC Head. To kind of be honest with you, I talked so much about the MPC, and I gave so many tutorials on the MPC, that you get to a point that you've just kind of spent all the things that you wanted to say about the machine, that I had to turn the channel into something different. I had to give it not just a different name, but a different look, a different idea, share other things that I have that I know I can do besides just putting out tutorials. So I have these two channels now, and the other one was supposed to be just for my artist side, but actually I still have it, and I will still upload to it, but other things like more electronic hip hop in the future, not for now, but in the future I will keep that channel going as well with other type of music that I make. So that's it.
Cool. Right on. Yeah, I was just curious about that because
Yeah.
I personally have been, watching some different stuff because I know you had some different synthesizers on that other channel. You had like the Digitone on there, and I noticed on your MPC Head, like when it was your channel was still called MPC Head, but you had the Arturia. I think you had some kind of Arturia synthesizer on there.
I had the Digitone. The Arturia as well. The Mini Brute 2S is in the back there. I still own that. It's a beautiful synth. I mean, I love the step sequencer, and that thing is just easy to work. It's really nice.
Cool. Awesome. And,
yeah, but I want to put more electronic hip hop into the other channel because it's a thing that's always been in the back of my mind. I really love electronic hip hop, but I never really, I haven't really gone to the point of just dedicating myself to it 100%. I still do my sampling. But yeah, I will get to it. I will definitely get to it because it's such a powerful sound as well. Hip hop, electronic hip hop.
Cool. So, curious, how long have you been creating music? It seems like you've been doing it a little while. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yeah, the history. So, I mean, it's a really long story. I'm just going to try to just try to make it really short. So I started making music in the 90s. I was into the grunge scene and hardcore rock. I went through the punk scene as well. But then I met some skaters. These skaters had a lot of music that they shared with me as well. And through skating, I started listening to hip hop. So if you know the 90s, everything kind of mashed together, hip hop, hardcore. There was a lot of this fusion going on. So it was an easy transition for me to go into hip hop, which I started in 2000. So I've been making beats since 2000. And that's when I got my first MPC 2000 XL. It was really revealing to me that you could actually cut audio and do some collage with it. My mind just blew when I saw the machine, and I had a friend that he brought the machine and he showed me the sampler, and you can cut sounds and stuff. And my mind was just blown. After that, because I had been in bands, hardcore bands throughout the 90s, I kind of stopped being in bands and just dedicated on making music for myself. And that was it. That was the start of the journey into sampling, into making beats. So that's it.
All right, gotcha. So 2000, it sounds like, was when you first got the MPC.
Yeah.
And it was a 2000 XL.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And now, it sounds like that wasn't your first instrument, though. Like, did you play guitar or bass or drums or anything?
I mean, I played guitar, but it was just for a laugh. We had these bands where we just made noise with the guitar.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't.
I've been in a few of those kind of bands.
Or anything. Sorry?
I said, yeah, I hear you. I've been in a few bands like that for fun, just making noise and just having fun, getting into that energy, just jumping around. And
I had some hardcore, punk hardcore, metal bands.
Okay.
I had different type because I went through a whole scene of grunge music up to more hardcore stuff from New York, just really heavy stuff. Then these things kind of meshed together really well. There was this, I think, Judgment Night's album that you would get, like Biohazard with Cypress Hill and stuff like that. So all this connection was happening right here. And I had a lot of bands doing that type of thing, where mixing hip hop with hardcore. So yeah, and it was just, so I was playing guitar in it, or I was just singing or screaming or rapping as well. And that was it. So yeah, then 2000 came and I got the MPC. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. And there's something about, for me, I've probably got, I just want to speak on the MPC for a second, because I think I found my first MPC, like maybe, 2001, 2 or 3. I don't know. It was the MPC 1000 was out. So I had got the MPC 1000, and I have kind of like a similar background. I played in like hardcore punk, like crazy bands. But then there was like a certain point where it's like, you know, I kind of faded out. But then I got the MPC 1000, and it's like you can do so much on your own. And it's like, wow, you can do all this on your own. Like you can make an entire song
Exactly.
just on the MPC. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you don't need to take any orders from the rest of the band. I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm just joking, but it's kind of true because you're the one that makes the music. So it's a lot different from being in a band, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of freeing, but at the same time, it's all on you. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
it's a little bit more responsibility at the same time.
That's true.
Cool. So so now, did you release any music like when you first got your MPC? Did you come out with any albums or anything like that, or did you do live shows?
Yeah. So when I got the MPC, I wasn't much of a guy that was doing instrumentals. I was more into making beats for MCs. So
Okay.
I did a few things here in Portugal, mainly in the city where I live, which is a small place. But that's what I was dedicating myself to, just making beats and inviting MCs. And I had a crew of my own, and I just did that for a while, just making beats for MCs. And I did release a few things. I don't know if you're going to be able to find it online. Hopefully not. No, it was a very good time. And I made some beats in raps. I MC as well. Not so much nowadays, but back then, yeah, throughout the 2000s. So yeah, I was MCing and recording bands, and that was it. So I did that throughout 2000 up to 2010. I recorded a lot of music. But I released it mainly in CD. I never uploaded anything. This internet thing is kind of new now, and you can upload anything to Spotify as quickly as in 1 week. But back then, I don't know. We just recorded CDs and we sell CDs on the street.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like that's all I did. But yeah, I did record a few things. I still have the CDs, but there's nothing online. You can probably find a few videos from back then, but not much stuff. And so after that, 2010, 2011, I made my first instrumental album, and you can find that online. That's online, actually, Spotify and whatever. And but then I actually stopped. So I did a lot of stuff throughout 2000 to 2010, 11. But then I kind of stopped up to the point where I started the channel, which was in 2017, 16. Between then, I didn't actually release anything. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, it's lazy, I suppose. I don't know, man. I don't even think I was lazy. I was just,
because you put out a lot of videos though, so I know you've been making some music and doing something over there.
Yeah. yeah. But I actually released a lot of stuff during that time. But I don't know, I just got into this mode of making music and not releasing it. I just got, I don't know, I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest, but I didn't release anything from 2011 up to now. I am releasing stuff now.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute, because I know you just came out with I think it's 10 song, like a beat tape. But I'm kind of confused about the format a little bit, because I seen that it was released and it looks like you released something else after it, if I'm not mistaken, because I went on today and I found like another release in 2020. I'm like, well, this is new too. But then I was kind of listening to it and it sounded like maybe some remixes. Can you explain what you got going on? Like, what is your current projects right now?
Right. So what I have now, I released a single a few months ago, and that's called Indiscreet, where it's kind of like it has like 6 beats inside, and it has like a story that I took from a video. So I cut all this audio from a video and just narrated my beats throughout the single. that came out a few months ago, and also it's available online. And the new thing that I have right now, which it's kind of like the album that's coming out at the moment, that I haven't released anything like that in a while, and that's Listen. It's the album's name. The name of the album is Listen. And yeah, but I didn't release any remixes or anything, but that's a 10-beat album, which is in pre-order right now for the vinyl edition. Now, the vinyl edition is going to have some remixes, but that's special for the vinyl. It's not going to come out online or anything.
Now, you can hear those. Can you hear those remixes if you go to the pre-order page, or is it going to be only on vinyl?
Only on the vinyl. I mean, you can hear one of the beats that I made on my latest video. That's one of the remixes of the beat. So you can hear that on the YouTube channel, but you won't be able to listen to it on Spotify or anything. Not for the time being. Maybe I'll release it later on, but not now.
So let's talk about this vinyl then. Like, this sounds interesting. What's the deal with this?
Yeah, man, it's crazy. So I've been in contact with Cooking Soul, which is another YouTuber, a beat maker. I mean, this guy has been making hits after hits for a long time. And he's the one that's kind of been pushing me and motivating me to do all sorts of stuff, making more music and releasing music. And he's the one that's kind of showed me that I could try Crates, which is an online platform where you can, if you don't have the cash to put it up front, you can put it on Crates and create a crowdfunding where people can go and buy your vinyl before it is released. So it's a pre-order right. And so, yeah, I got into that because I think it's just so motivating to have a record of your own, your beats on record. And I'm trying it out and see how people are responding to it. People are getting it. And I'm really happy for that. And, we'll see. So it's still a few weeks left to finish for the deadline. But yeah, so it's a record. I mean, I've never done it before. I don't know how it's going to sound, how the beats are going to sound or anything. But, I'm really curious to see how it's going to come out.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool project. So now Crates, that's a company, like, I was kind of looking into it. It's like, it's in England. Like, where's that company based at?
So I think it's based in the UK, but I think they also have something going on in the US as well. So I think they're linked. One in the
and it's like a crowdfunding type of deal. So you have to hit a certain. So it's like people pre-order it, and once the pre-order's done, and then they get it pressed and it's shipped out, and it's like a limited edition type of deal, or how does that work? What if you get more orders then? Yeah,
if you get more orders, then it will stop because you have a deadline. Once you reach that deadline, then the amount of copies that were sold, they'll be pressed, and that's it. And if you don't reach a goal, because I have a goal of 100, if I don't reach that goal, then it's, the money is refunded to the people, and that's it. But
so you have to collectively, we all got to reach that goal. So what are you at now?
53, 54, halfway.
Okay. Yeah, more than halfway. So I'm going to actually, is it okay if I link to that in the description of this video?
Please do, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're listening to this on podcast, or if you're watching this on YouTube, like, check the description of this, support some people. All right. Support Marlow Digs. Go ahead, click on that. Get that pre-ordered. It's going to be cool, man. It's like a limited edition type of thing. We all like vinyl. Come on now.
Thank you. Go grab that, please. Yes.
Awesome. So now for this instrumental, what is your process? Did you just go over like all the songs you made in the last 10 years and pick a few of them? Or you're like, I'm going to make an instrumental and I want it to sound like this? Or like, what was kind of your process in making that?
Yeah, so as you said, I have a bunch of instrumentals. I just grabbed a bunch of them, and I started picking out which ones I was going to use. I had some help, external help from people that told me like, this is a good one. Maybe put this one in. So that was it. So already the beats were made. I just went in and picked up a few, and then selected the ones that I like the most, or that work together as well. But I had help as well, to kind of help me choose which ones were the best. Because sometimes, to me, man, I'm really not that good at picking which beats are the best, because I really love almost all the stuff I do, almost. So it's kind of hard sometimes to pick which one. So I need external help to help me, make a decision between certain beats. And I had that help as well. And after that, I actually arranged the beats a little bit, not too complex, just something that you can listen. And that was it, basically. So I did a little bit of an arrangement to the beats. And yeah, that's it. And
awesome.
Put it out.
So now, what did you use to make these beats? Were you using I noticed you have the MPC 2000 there. Were you using the 2000 XL, or were you using the MPC Touch? I know you used the MPC Touch. So what was your main piece?
I'm for that. It's all about the MPC Touch. Everything in the album is from the MPC Touch, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So, if now, I'm working actually with the XL. If you see my videos, I'm just doing the XL. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I had a lot of these beats stored, and first of all, I'm putting everything that I considered best that I did on the album. But everything was done on the Touch. But going back to the question, actually, you were saying how was the process of putting beats together?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's so weird, because you never really know when to stop or when or because you can arrange a beat so far. You can do so many things to a beat, and to me, that's one of my problems, is that I always feel like the beat isn't finished, and that's probably one of the reasons why I never put out my any beat tapes recently, because I feel like just the beats aren't finished. And for this album, I just grabbed what I thought were the best beats, and I just did like the best arrangement I could in a short amount of time. And I said, that's it, that's done. Not looking back to it and just putting it out, because if I stay with the beat too long, it feels like the damn beat is just never finished for some reason.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me, man, because I end up not releasing anything. That's definitely one of the reasons. So now, actually, I told myself, like, that it's done. Like, just create a few bars, design the beat the way you want it to sound, but just don't go crazy with the arrangement. Just put something that's interesting, that's lo-fi, that you can just sit back and relax to it without any crazy build-ups or anything. So that was
I like it.
Behind that. That's the idea behind it. And yeah, everything was done on the Touch. All beats that have like a year, beats that are recent, everything together, and you have an album. So what's my favorite?
Yeah. Now, could you explain that the workflow is different?
Yeah.
Now, is one better than the other, or is it just different?
Exactly. That's the thing. To me, they're just different. It doesn't mean that one's better than the other.
Okay.
It's just
That's
different.
Fair.
It's just different. And sometimes I might feel like I want to do something with the XL. Sometimes I might want to do something with the Force, and that's it. So it's not that every beat that I make is going to be on the XL, or that I don't have the idea that the beats will always sound better on the XL. That's not the idea at all. I mean, I did try this. I did test it. I tested a beat on the Force. I tried to make that same beat on the XL, and it didn't work for certain. I don't know why, but it just didn't feel the same. So and it sounded much better on the Force, and that happens as well with the Touch.
Now, curious though, because you mentioned the Force, and it's kind of is very, very, very similar to the new MPC as far as the MPC 2.0 type of deal, but it is different, and kind of the workflow is different. So what do you think about the Force? Just real quick while we're talking about it.
I love it. I love the Force.
Okay.
I think it's a great machine. I don't know. I know a lot of people don't like it. And whenever I make a video about the Force on the channel, people don't gravitate towards it.
Mm-hmm.
And I honestly, I don't know why people don't like the Force, but I think it's an amazing machine. I mean, I really like it because I worked with Ableton a while back, and I really enjoy the step sequencer, the whole 64 pad layout. You know, having the knobs that you could change the steps of the MIDI notes. Everything about the Ableton workflow was great, but you know, I actually decided to come back to the MPC again. But once I saw that the Akai was going to mash the two together, I was really excited about it. And I think it's just it's a great machine. To be honest, I think it's probably one of the best. And with the new update that's going to come out, I think it's going to be a pretty good deal for people. I don't know. I mean, I enjoy it a lot. There's a lot of bad things too. There's a lot of bad things too, but you know.
I mean, you could find bad things with pretty much anything, and but the the Kai's whole we're going to announce something, but then not come out with it for over a year later type of deal, and it's like it could be frustrating because a lot of people bought the thing expecting certain features that aren't there yet. Yeah. But I think they're going to get there.
Hopefully
through what I have seen. Yeah, I think it's going to get there, and hopefully. Yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to talk about that briefly because coming from an MPC background to the Force.
Because what you think, Matt? Because it's almost the same thing, isn't it? Like if you're working with an MPC and you come to the Force, isn't it almost the same thing to you? Or did you find it really different?
Okay, so here's how I found it different because I found it different just sampling. Because my tendency was to sample and then hit the pads, and then I couldn't hit the pads when I'm sampling, and it just that piece in the beginning of making a beat kind of threw it off. But if there's certain workarounds, but hopefully they'll solve that in the future. But in addition to that, I think it's very capable. Like you can do certain things a lot quicker. Like you could definitely come up with sequences, like copy your parts quicker and do certain things a lot faster on the Akai Force. Yeah. And it definitely has that potential to like, if you really want to get in a fast workflow, I think it has a great potential.
Yeah, man, I like it. I like it a lot. Let's see. I think because I think 3.0.5 should be a really good update. Let's see. I don't know. Let's stop talking about the machine.
Yeah. If they release what was shown at the NAMM, it should be a good update with the arranger and like being able to export audio tracks and stuff like that. So because you could produce a more complete song to me rather than like trying to record it externally, which isn't bad either. Yeah. But yeah, Force, great potential. I haven't given up on it yet. I still have it. So so all right. So we got. Listen, it's out now, or it's going to be out. You got to get the record. We got to get the album, the actual vinyl.
Yeah, go, please.
Okay. So, so you said you are working on something in the future, like right now. Yeah. So you're already working on the next one?
Yeah. I'm definitely, because, the beats that I've been making on the Excel, that's going to come out in an album soon as well. So I'm putting those together and, as I still have one to put out, which is the one with the Arturia, which I made a beat tape just with electronic sounds from the Arturia. That's in the works as well, so that's coming out. Actually, I'm just putting a stop to this not releasing albums that I went through like almost a decade. I'm really tired of that. I mean, I make so many beats and I don't release stuff, which I need to quit. So I'm just going to be releasing stuff now, every other month, hopefully, because, I have all the stuff on the Excel. That's an album already. And then I have the stuff from the Arturia. That's another album. And beats just keep on coming. So yeah, it's just it's just turning everything around for me right now. I just want to start doing what I should have been doing all along, which is putting out music.
Yeah, I want to follow that example, man. I need to start putting out stuff too. I got, hundreds of beats. I just got to start putting them together or make new ones or whatever. But the bottom line is, like you were saying, releasing. I know there's people listening right now are like, man, I just need to put out some music. Like I have some songs, but maybe they don't feel like they're finished. Like you were saying, you could work on a beat over, again and again and again. You can always work on it. There's just a certain point you got to be like, okay, it's done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's great to hear. Now,
yeah. I mean,
this
it's a huge problem finishing beats, but
yeah,
you have to do it. You have to put stuff out, because if you don't put stuff out, then you end up like me, like almost a decade without putting out anything. Just you need to force yourself to finish tracks and just put them out. Sometimes I think that my music just isn't good enough, and that's another issue. Sometimes you just think, oh, it just isn't good enough, or there's so many reasons why we shouldn't put music out, because we think that it just isn't finished or just isn't good enough. But that we shouldn't think like that. Would you just finish the beat and put it out there and just listen to what people say? If you have good comments or if you don't have it, it doesn't really matter, but it will give you a blueprint of what to do next. That's the important.
And exactly the experience of just going through the process of making it and then releasing it.
Yeah.
And then the next time it's just going to build off of that. It's just, if you don't make that initial leap, you know what I'm saying? You're not going to get the ball rolling.
That's it, man. You have to do it. Just let it flow, man. Put stuff out.
So this podcast, I kind of, hopefully it inspires some people to do just that, release some music, but for anybody listening, like if somebody's just starting out, like what is like your one piece of top advice right now that you could give somebody to, make music? What would you say that would be?
To start making music, or
like to start, like if somebody's starting, like they're like, okay, they either just started or want to start, like what is one piece of advice that you could give them?
Just don't stress yourself. I think sometimes people, when they start making music, they want to start straight away, like making like the dopest song or the best thing out there. I think just get to know yourself as a producer, know what you want, and just enjoy the first moments. Enjoy the process. Don't try to make a beat just because you want to make a beat, but enjoy the process. Just have fun with it when you start. Don't beat yourself up because your beat is bad or anything. Just really enjoy it, because you need to get to know yourself as a producer. You need to know where you're going to go in the future. And you need to understand if you really love making beats. So just enjoy the process when you start, and that's it. Just
nice.
See other producers, really learn from other producers, see what they're doing, follow them, see what the tricks are, and that's it. Just have fun in the beginning, and after that, just put the beat tape out.
That's part of the fun.
Yeah, part of the fun. That's it.
I love that. Yeah, man. Like it's a process. It really is a process. And I think it's a never ending process. Like I think certain people think, or like when you get it, you want to be a certain way. You want to release an album. Once you release it and it goes platinum, you're done. But that's not really it. That's like,
exactly.
It's the process. It's having fun while you're doing it, while you're making a beat, while you're mixing, while you're, waiting for the file to process so you can upload it, the entire process. So
yeah, man, just listening to music by itself is part of beat making. I find like a lot of the times if you're just listening, you're actually studying music at the same time. So you're listening to how that beat maker is swinging the drums or or how these jazz artists are playing the chords and what type of chord you like, what type of chord you're going to use, while you're listening. That alone is making music, because you're studying your ears, you're studying yourself, you're trying to make music just by listening and see how that will sample, how that sample might work or not. Just take time, man. Sometimes I take like half an hour just to make a drum loop. And I know that sounds crazy to some, but to me, it's just because I really enjoy the process of swinging drums, of trying to find a good snare. Just feel the moment. You don't need to rush a beat. I know a lot of people like to make things quick, but I'm not for that. I
like that you bring that up, the swinging the beat, because I know you have, like we were talking about your YouTube channel. I was watching literally like yesterday, watching one of your videos about how you swing the drums on the MPC and how you go in there and you do it manually and like take time with it and you like adjust the snare a little bit to make it sound a little different, like how, to give it your own personality, I think is what you're doing when you do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, man. I really enjoy doing that. I like taking time when making music, actually taking a break, listening through samples, taking a break, just, I don't like to rush things at all, so that's it.
That's it, man. And that's one thing, like you were saying, once you start producing music, your whole mind's going to change when you listen to music. Like you were saying, you're going to start listening to music and it's like almost like you're learning and producing while you're listening to music. Like your mind starts to shift. At least for me, that's how I feel. Like you could still enjoy it, right? But it's like a whole nother level of enjoyment,
working with audio, it's a pretty special thing. I think some people just look at audio as, I don't know. I don't think people relate to audio as audio. I think that it's just a sample, it's just a sound. But if you, because I come from a more experimental background as well, so I do come from a sound design background, and I just really like to get in touch with audio, just listening to all the details in the audio. And, trying to figure out why certain samples sound better than other samples, why some samples sound bad, but that's all a process that you need to put your ears into, and it's making love with music.
It really is.
but that's it. I mean, I just really love like listening to samples all day long. Maybe not make a beat, maybe just listening to, chops just for the hell, just figuring out how you can make a sample sound better.
Yes.
I mean, it's just, audio to me, it's a crazy world, and you can go a lot further than just making a loop, audio, you can really make beautiful things. I used to make a lot of, before this, so I was into university and stuff. So I was making, sound for theater for kids, sound installations. I was making a bunch of multi-channel work for live concerts, but with multi-channel, and it was all a really beautiful journey that I took through sound, through learning sound and learning characteristics of sound and how sound blends together. I mean, it's really vague. It's really hard to talk about audio. But it's a beautiful art, and to me, it's much more than just a drum loop. But that's maybe a topic for another interview.
Yeah. Unless we start getting like audio examples going,
Exactly.
I mean, really, the sky's the limit. And but so for everybody listening now, I just wanted to give people an idea. I know we talked about your YouTube channel, so if somebody wants to find you on the internet, what's the best way they can find? Where to find you? Like, where's your stuff at?
Yeah, Marlow Digs, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Marlow Digs. It's always using that name. You can find me on that. That's it. YouTube, Instagram,
awesome.
Twitter, Facebook. That's it. MPC Head as well, because I'm transitioning from Marlow Digs to MPC Head. So either one, you can still find me.
Excellent. That's awesome, man. So is there anything else before we wrap this up that you want to say to anybody that might be listening right now? Is anything at all?
No, man,
Can you
I'm
say it now?
good.
Cool. Perfect. Hey, I love it. So, hey, I want to say thank you for being on, this show. This is the Continue Creating podcast that I'm doing now. This is a brand new thing. I just want to try to communicate, kind of bring people together. I think it's good to kind of see behind the scenes, a little bit unpolished, because we create things, but our final outcome is usually a little bit polished with our artistic eye. So this is a little more raw. So I appreciate you for coming on the show.
I have to say, I think it's a great idea. I really want to see you keep doing this. I want to hear the stories from other YouTubers that are making music as well, because I think it's really interesting just to hear what their background is and how they came to be YouTubers now and musicians. So I think it's a great idea, and you should definitely keep doing it. Okay, thank you for having me as well.
Awesome. I appreciate you for being on here. Hey, remember to check out Marlow Digs. Listen, okay? Go check them out on Spotify or click the link below. I'll leave a link below in the description. Check them out. I appreciate you. Hey, thanks again for being on the show.
Thanks, man.
And all right, hey, again, continue creating music, y'all. If you're listening to this, stop it right now. Go make some music. I appreciate y'all.
Peace.
Peace out.